Welcome to Jakarta, the second free practice session about to get underway for round 9 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship, the Jakarta E-Prix. Another half an hour of practice coming up before we then get stuck into qualifying a little bit later on this morning. There's a look at downtown Jakarta, and we're a little further north on Ancol Beach, and this is where we lie in the season. We're starting the second half of the year with Jakarta, then followed by Marrakesh, 2 races in New York, 2 races in London, and 2 races in Seoul to complete the season in the middle of August. Mitch Evans getting ready to head out for the second free practice session. The Jaguar Marrakesh, 2 races in New York, 2 races in London, and 2 races in Seoul to complete the season in the middle of August. Mitch Evans getting ready to head out for the second free practice session. Marrakesh, 2 races in New York, 2 races in London, and 2 races in Seoul. If it's concerned, it is Stoffel Vandoorne who is at the top. 3 podiums in a row, including a win in Monaco, have propelled him to the top of the standings. 12 points clear of Eduardo Mortaro, who really got his season back on track with a first and second last time out in Berlin. Jean-Eric Verne is 3rd, with Mitch Evans in 4th, Robin Freitz in 5th, and those top 5 have broken away a little bit at the top of the standings. No points for either of the Dragons. Dan Ticktum, his 10th place in Rome, his only point so far of his Formula E career. His teammate Oliver Turvey finished 7th in that same race, and that was his only points of the season. Mercedes EQ are at the top of the championship standings, and then it's Rocket Venturi right behind them as far as the teams are concerned, with DS Techeetah 3rd and Jaguar TCS Racing is 4th. My name is Jack Nichols. Alongside me in the commentary box is the man who finished 16th in the 2010 V8 Supercar race at Surfers Paradise, Dario Franchitti.
I'm not sure I actually finished that race, Jack.
You didn't finish the second one, but I think you finished the first one.
Anyway, talk about this race. Jakarta, 2.37 kilometers, 18 turns. It's dusty. It's pretty low grip. Wide entry into turn 1. 1, 2, and 3 are all taken really as one corner, and setting up for the kink through 4, 5, close to the wall through 6, bumpy braking zone, turn 7. Then you've got the 9, 10, 11, 12, all taking the flowing section, heavy braking into the hairpin of turn 13. Turn 16, bank left-hander, attack mode activation zone on the outside, Jack's favourite corner, turn 17, and then at the final sprint out of turn 18 to the finish line.
2.37 kilometres, and there you can see the Jakarta Bay behind, where at the top of the northwest of Java Island. Track temperature 30 degrees, air temperature up to 32 degrees, and it's 2 minutes to 9 in the morning. So this is going to be a warm one.
It only says 63% humidity.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue with that.
Yeah, I think it's 120%.
Yeah, it's unbelievably humid, unbelievably hot, and we're sitting in air conditioning now. The drivers, the teams working on the cars, very, very testing conditions for them today.
Nick de Vries.
For the cars too.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick de Vries, the reigning champion, and he and Antonio Felix da Costa had a bit of a moment in the first practice session coming down into turn 13. And a few gesticulations followed between the two of them. This is what happened as da Costa went to the inside, de Vries came across, and da Costa had to take evasive action.
I think de Vries was actually trying to get out of the way, just mistimed it. With the Formula E car, with these spoilers at the back, the mirrors, it's very difficult to see what's going on behind, and that's where you need the engineers to help you. And yeah, just I think a miscommunication. But this next bit, you can definitely tell they're not happy with each other. And that's where I kind of expected de Vries to give him a wave and say, "Hey, sorry, I messed up." But no, they just kept at it.
There we go. That's da Costa's reaction. But now focus on free practice 2. De Vries not heading straight out, interestingly. Even though Mercedes EQ are at the front of the line, nor DS Techeetah. So that's an interesting. Normally everybody heads straight out on track. Some have, but not everybody.
I wonder if they're trying to get a real qualifying simulation in. They're trying to go out when the tyres are actually cold, because as we talked about in the break, Jack, even if you cool the tyres down, they're not actually where they would be when you go out and you head out to qualifying later on.
Yeah, after a cool-down lap, and they're doing really slow cool-down laps, the tyres come down to about 60 degrees.